What's going on, everybody? It's in a review for Amsterdam. It's a new David O. Russell movie. It's Christian Bale, John David Washington, Margot Robbie, Chris Rock, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, Rami Malek, Robert De Niro. I mean, come on, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. But the movie's just okay. At best. And I'm bummed about it. This was one of my most hyped movies of the year. I love David O. Russell. What I will say right off the bat is that the cast, especially these three, they're electric together. All three of them. Both John David Washington, Margot Robbie, and Christian Bale, all three of them are great actors in general, but they have such a great chemistry together. And the story alone is about these three friends who meet during the war. And during that time, they meet during World War I. And during that time, this is like the 1930s, they have this bond that they form in Amsterdam. And while they're there, some stuff happens. Bale's got to go back to the States. And it's the way that it's all pieced together. I don't want to give away a lot of stuff because it's a non-spoiler review. But there's a new kind of plot that forms that they all have to figure out together. And there's a lot of stuff. They infuse a lot of history, real events that happen inside of this story. And there's a lot that really works. It's a long movie, and it feels long. And the movie itself feels long in the tooth. And what I mean by that is there's times I was really invested, and as I'm invested in watching the scene, then the scene just kind of starts to trail off. And it's like a cat with a string kind of, or like one of those toys going like this. It's like, come back. And then it does, and it gets you back in that moment. And what I was glad is it's not overly goofy. There's some pretty graphic moments for sure. I think that when they add humor, I think that the humor works. I think Bale's character, I was like, I love Christian Bale, and I'm like, is he going to be annoying? He wasn't. He was pretty endearing. He's pretty charming. And there's, like I said, there's a lot that works. It's just, I think it wanted to be more clever, or it thought it was more clever, and I wanted it to be more clever than it was. There wasn't a lot of stuff that ultimately that the mystery behind everyone who's involved, when you kind of find out who it is, you're like, yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. And there's like the secret societies, and I don't know. The reason why you go to the movie in general is to watch the three of them together, because John David Washington is just like his pops. He's a star, and he's got charisma, and he has personality, and I like the way that him and Chris Rock work together in this. I think that I would like to see them deep dive in a little bit more into the relationship. That to me was the most fascinating thing, was the relationship between the three of them. And when it started to try to get a little too quirky and kooky, they went off in these other directions, and I just got, it's a little dull. It's a little dull, and it's not as clever, and I want it to be. It's more, I didn't love American Hustle, so maybe if you love American Hustle, you'll dig this. I'm more so on the Silver Linings Playbook and The Fighter. Like, those are the David O. Russell movies that I like. This wasn't that. Again, didn't hate this movie at all. When I was watching it, I was like, okay, I'm happy I'm watching it. I'm watching a masterclass in acting. There's some really great shots, but it feels long in the tooth. I gotta go 2.8 out of 5 schmoes. I hate to do it because I was looking forward to it so much, but it's just, with everything that you can see in the theater these days, is this you have to go to the theater to see it? No. And I think that if you watch it on streaming, you're going to do it in like 2 or 3 days. I don't think you're going to watch it in one shot. Maybe you do because you got nothing else going on. I hate to say that. I really do. People go, that was Taylor Swift. She was good. She was terrible in other movies. She was. She wasn't terrible in this. She's good in this. I thought everybody was good in this. Zoe Saldana's great in this. Performances are fine. It's David O. Russell. He got great performances at everybody. It's just the story that they told was a bit dull. But that's my opinion. I don't know what you're going to think about it. You might love this movie. This might be your favorite movie of the year. Go ahead. Have a blast. And if you do, throw a party in the streets and tell me why you loved it so much. But I want to know. So if you're watching this before you see the movie, and I saved you some money and then you see it on streaming and you go, I would have loved to have seen it in the theater, then come back and yell at me. But if you watch it on streaming later and you think that it was dull and you're glad you didn't see it, then send me a thank you note. Or don't. I don't care. That's not true. I do care very much. That's why I do this. It's self-validation. Anyway. All right, look. That's it. That's my review of this movie. It's a bit of a disappointment. Music was good too, but that's it. All right. Sorry to disappoint everybody. Peace.